All right, nothing like evening coffee. Mm. COFOH Live Undead. I am your host, Daniel Crosier, and I am joined by the amazing, the legendary Daniel Roebuck. Wow!
You write something on my face?
Daniel, or should I say Grandpa's bust. How are you?
Hey, there you are. Hey, everybody, Danny Roebuck here. I was just playing with myself.
Oh, that nice. As one should, yeah.
When one has all their dreams come true, what can one do?
Oh,
Hello, Dan. It's so nice to be here with you and all your fellow Coloradian,
yep, Coloradans. You hit it right on the head.
right on the head.
You were just out here a few weeks ago for
I
Rocky
know.
Years.
I was in Denver, and I got to hang out with one of my favorite Coloradans, KreatureKid, Adam Dougherty. You should have him as a guest on your show. That guy's amazing.
Oh yeah, he is amazing. You guys are working on Jungle of Darkness.
Well, there I am. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my! I can't wait to hear more about that project and where that's at and in development. I know you guys, the two of you, have been working together for a while on that.
He's the greatest human being. We're very proud of him. He's been part of our family for many years, and so we've watched him grow up but not grow more talented. The little son of a gun had all that talent when he was 13, the bastard.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, yeah, he's amazing with all the puppetry that he's been able to put into the world. It's delightful. I can't wait for it. But we'll come back to that. But of course, I want to open up and just for folks that aren't familiar with your work like I am.
Who are these people who are not familiar with my work? You have a lot of homework to do.
It's but tell us how you got into acting and filmmaking. I remember my first introduction to you was Cave Girl, all the way back in the early 80s, I think.
I like to keep props handy, but I'm never like this ready.
Oh man, look at that!
You remember what these are?
Yes, Laserdisc. Oh,
Laserdisc awesome. Of Cave Girl. Are you cool enough to even see it? Look at that Cave. Look at that young, handsome boy, and now he's an old man.
Oh, he's a handsome, much more dignified man.
Yes.
That's
ended
awesome.
Here, by the way. It could have ended here, Dan. Thank God. Thank God it didn't. His plan was greater for me.
Yeah, I remember. I think my first viewing of that was like Rhonda Shear's USA Up All Night.
Yeah, Up All Night. Yeah. She and the great Gilbert Gottfried used to run it all the time.
That's right.
I wanted to come on. We finally. I entreat people if they want to be entertained. I think it's fun. They could type in my name, Cave Girl, and Vimeo. And we did the making of Cave Girl. It's called Cave Girl, A Second Journey Back in Time. I think it's much more entertaining than the movie. And I say that respectfully. We all worked very hard on the movie. The writer director worked hard on the movie. Everybody worked hard on the movie. But, sometimes they're winners and sometimes they're not.
Yeah. Yeah. How did you get involved with Cave Girl? Was that
Well,
actually your
it's so,
first story?
you can't even make it up.
Yeah.
Dan, it was literally my first film audition of my life. And when I mentor actors, I try not to tell this story first.
Yeah.
Because first I talk about how hard it's going to be, the sacrifices you're going to have to make. Don't make too many sacrifices. Don't forget to live your life. It's a struggle. Tell me about your struggle, Dan. Well, it took one film audition. But I think everything turned out the way it was supposed to. So it was my first film audition. I can tell the story quickly if you like. I mean, are there filmmakers on your panel?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've got a couple of people chiming in.
Oh, all right. So here's the story in a nutshell. The first audition, can I say a dirty word on this?
You certainly can. We are not monetized, so feel free to, say all kinds of fuckery.
Well, no, I try not to curse unless I'm quoting. There was a great comedian, Carl Ballantine. And Carl Ballantine is on McHale's Navy, and he did the great Ballantine he was a great, funny, brilliant comic. And would you believe, right before I went to the first film audition, I bumped into him at the bank in Hollywood. This is what's great when I moved to town about living in Hollywood. At the bank was Carl Ballantine. And he always had a cigar, even though it wasn't lit. And I said, Mr. Ballantine, I can't even believe I'm bumping into you. Sir, I've stolen so much of your act in my magic act. I'm confessing now. I apologize. But sir, Mr. Ballantine, sir, he must have thought I was a nut. I said, sir, I'm going to my very first movie audition. I'm an actor, and this is my first film audition I've ever been on. Do you have any advice for me? And he goes, yeah. Don't fuck it up. Just like that. So,
that's great.
Because he told me that, I figured I better not embarrass him.
Yeah.
We had the callback audition. They had all these actors in a room, and I tell this story just to really kind of. This is a mentoring moment of mine because the story has some really value in a weird way. I watched, they read us saying never made a movie before. And the director, great guy, David Oliver, had never made a movie. And so they were auditioning us all together, like you might do at a community theater in Denver or Bethlehem, where I grew up. I just had come from 12 seconds before. And so I'm watching actor after actor after actor. I'm reading for a little part, a guy who plays a high school kid. And I'm watching one actor after another because their idea was the guy would be like, I was and then it would be like, and he'd be gorgeous. So I'm not really the hell, and I'm not really gorgeous. But I watched one guy after another, and I realized they're not getting any of the jokes. Yeah. Let's not say there was a lot of jokes, but they weren't getting one of the jokes. So everybody was done, and everybody, all the actors, they were all packing their stuff and getting ready to go, and everybody was getting up. And the director, David, said, does anybody else want to read for anything else?
Yeah.
So he asked the question. This is the key to my stump speech to people who want to succeed. Right. He asked a question. All that was required of me was an answer. Can I read for the lead? And then everybody was like, they had to put their stuff down because he goes, sure. Regrettably, because he asked, and now we've got to read. So I read the first scene, true story, first scene. And he was like this. And he goes, read the second scene. And I read the second scene, and he was like, he said, read the third scene. I read it, and he was like this. And I thought, well, God, how bad am I? So that was that. The movie or the audition's over. And I go up to him because I'm a neophyte. And I say, Mr. Oliver, sir, I just want to be in a movie. It's my dream come true. I'll play one of the cave people. I'm good with makeup. I can do my own makeup. I can show you how good I am at that if you want me to come back. And he was like, no, no, no. He goes, you're going to be in the movie. I just got to figure out how. That's what he said that day.
Nice.
And that was it. And his uphill battle was he had to convince Crown International, which hasn't been known for making, like, they haven't up to that point picked the best actor for any movie.
Right.
They picked girl with the biggest hoo-has or whatever.
Yeah.
So he had to compromise. When he realized it was me, he had to convince them that it wasn't going to be a beautiful girl and a beautiful boy, that to make the movie had to be an actor and a beautiful girl. So, and he did. And I'll be forever grateful. A guy named Chuck Williams saw that movie for $1 in Tucson, Arizona. Then he had to go on a date, and he went back the next day because he thought I was funny. Yeah. And he in California, it turned out he knew somebody who knew me, and that person put us in touch, and he brought me to a management company, and then that management company, which has been the husband and wife have been my managers for 38 years. That guy, Wayne Rice, when River's Edge came down the pike, said, do you think you could play this character? And I said, I could try. And that, I mean, it changed everything. So the end of the story, if you're still there, people, please be there. I tell the cave girl story first to remind you that it's okay to answer the question. Certainly it's not okay to demand from people. Yeah. But it's okay to be the answer to a question asked. In fact, that's what all of us are looking for. Mm-hmm. We're not looking for your comments about the movies we're making. We're not looking for your point of view of how bad a writer I am. When I ask a question, then you'll know it's time to answer. Right. So Cave Girl led to everything. Man, everything.
That's great. When we were before we came on, I was bringing up, of course, dudes, and just revisiting that. And I forgot, because I think the last time I saw it was like 20 years ago in art school. It was right along the time when I was being introduced to Repo Man. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, they were all
this wonderful punk rock ethos. And, Penelope Spheris directed, dudes. And I forgot that Flea was in there. And
she had directed The Decline of Western Civilization, which was a punk rock musical. And about that same time, we also had Alex Cox's brilliant,
Repo Man.
So it would have been after Repo Man, and then we had Sid and Nancy.
That's right. Oh my God, that's right.
It's a really interesting time to be around. And John Cryer, who is my co-star in Dudes, is so much more musically inclined than I was. Admittedly, I'm a bit of a, how they, Pulp Fiction, which was like from the Flintstones, I'm a square. I've always been a square. And I'm not really that hip. And in fact, that was part of Penelope's tour. When people come to the set, she'd say, and this is Dan Roebuck. He's married and he goes to church and he went to Catholic school and he doesn't do drugs. She was very excited to show. I'm standing there with the mohawk.
Right.
Oh God. With Flea. Oh, what a Michael Belzeri. What a fun character.
Yeah.
Daredelvis. Dude, Daredelvis. He popped up. Mm-hmm. He's still alive. The great Pete Wilcox. Nice. He popped up. Guess where he was living?
Where's that?
In a Winnebago, just like in the movie. Holy now he lives in a house. But when we found him again, he was traveling around the country doing Elvis, living in a Winnebago.
Oh, wow.
You can't make it up.
That's well, and you've got Lee Ving, who
Lee, yeah.
the main gangster,
Main
and
villain.
the lead,
What I love
singer.
about Lee Ving, he talked like this. He goes, "I'm Lee Ving." He talked like Tommy Lee Jones. One
Yeah.
day I was saying, "Lee, where are you from specifically?" I think he said Philadelphia. I thought, "You're from 42 miles from where I'm from. Why do you talk like?"
Right. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my
Big
god.
Lee Ving fan, a good guy, a good guy.
Yeah. I think the band, I think Fear's still around. They're still touring too.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder
Yeah.
what that show would be like. It'd be too loud for me. I mean, the truth is, I go see Rob Zombie. I put in earplugs. I can't take it. I'm just like, could you, I'm like the
Me
guy at the
too.
band. Could you play lower? Play it low. We're trying to talk.
Yeah.
No one's here to hear you.
That is me as well. I'm usually in the back balcony, as far as I can go with with earplugs in as well. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
such a young man's game, Yeah, going to
Everything. Have you noticed, Dan? Everything's a young man's game. Where my father lives in Pennsylvania, he lives at the end of his street, a nice street, but at
Yeah,
the bottom is a bar,
yeah,
that we all used to go to. And when I'm visiting him, and it's like 9:30. I'm leaving his house. I'm like, I'm gonna go home and go to sleep. What are these people? They're just parking. They're just
right,
getting to the bar,
right,
and I'm going home to lay down.
right. Yeah, just as Grandpa would, right?
Yeah, why? Sure. Yeah, that's how I sleep.
Oh man, yeah, yeah. And with the Munsters, kind of jumping, ahead, way ahead from dudes to the Munsters. I have to say that, you know, uh, the version of the Munsters that you guys, came out with, I it was such a surprise to me. I was so delighted when I saw that on Netflix. I told you this when I met you at Rocky Mountain Nightmares. I'm like, it's like, wow, the trailer hit, and it's just like, what happened? And then when Netflix released it, it was just such a delight. It's so charming. It's so endearing. Yeah, the fun campiness, to it, which you get with the original, but here, it's just so engaging. I've watched it probably 7 times now since it
Thank
came
you.
out, and
I I'm so proud of what we did. I'm so proud of what Rob Zombie did, and what Jeff did, and especially what Sherry did.
yeah,
And I had it easiest. I was exactly like the guy. I was his height. I
yeah,
was his weight.
Lewis, yeah,
And although he was 30 something, 38 or 37 when he did it,
hmm,
uh, I was older, but we kind of filled in the same space, and I knew him. And Grandpa is more ageless than in that version. Herman and Lily had to play
yeah,
younger people
yeah,
because they weren't who they are in the series yet. I thought it was brilliant.
yeah,
There's been multiple TV movies. Now the problem
right,
with the TV movie is it's like they're always great actors, but they take what would be a half-hour premise and they make it an hour and a half movie. What
right,
Rob did, because he's a filmmaker first and foremost, he thought, what couldn't have been done yet?
yeah,
And there, the story he told, not it's not really a prequel because our version of them doesn't exist, but
right,
it's a origin story, and I think he was greatly, smartly brilliant to do it.
yeah.
Truly,
Yeah, I hope you guys get the opportunity to revisit it, because now I'm intrigued to, like, how far along does little Eddie come along, baby Eddie, and all that, especially seeing like Lester in the flesh, too.
yeah,
It's
and
like,
he gave fans everything.
yeah,
Lester, he gave them Zombo,
right,
and Uncle Gilbert, none of which were easy, to pull off. They had an actor fall out for Lester, and then Uncle Gilbert. At one point, Rob, I don't think I'm telling tales out of school. He essentially said, "You have to deal with this. I don't have time to deal with it. if you can't get the right mask here, we can't put it in the movie. So,
Right.
you know,
Right.
I got on the, you know, I'm emailing, you know, Universal's legal, trying to figure out what really the problem is. But anyway, and then what a great ending to the story. It's
Yep.
KreatureKid's mask that he
Yep.
sculpted when he was 12 years old is
Nice.
Uncle Gilbert in the movie.
Nice. That is so cool to see that in there. Oh man,
Oh,
that's
I'm
awesome.
like beaming like a father's pride.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just so proud of the kid.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Yeah. And you've been working with Rob Zombie for a little bit, ever since like Devil's Rejects. You pop up
Yeah.
in his film, so you guys have a pretty good relationship. The you know did Rob ever say what was it about you that really conveyed Grandpa to him?
You know, we never had that talk. When someone offers you a movie, the first thing you say is yes,
Yeah.
and you never say why.
Okay.
Um, why do you want me?
Yeah.
Uh, but look, Dan,
Mhm.
you spent a little time with me. You may have a sense of my character, my
Yeah.
attitude. I'm a hardworking person.
Yes, you
I
are.
am I am like the actor version of the middle class, just like
Mhm.
everything that every politician tells us. Never, they always say middle class, and we're
Right.
always screwed.
Yep.
And don't, I, not to give a little, I want to tell you, if you're the middle class right now, you're screwed. And
Hmm.
they did it to us. Everything they told us was a lie. They
Yep.
ruined our businesses, they shut down our churches, everything. So, no matter who you voted for, I don't
Yep.
care. I'm
Yep.
saying don't trust any of them
Yeah.
because we're screwed. So, uh, I'm a middle class, hardworking actor or director or writer or producer. Whatever I'm doing, I do it the way my father and my mother taught me to do it 150%, 150% of the time. And that's just how I do it. So Rob has seen me. I jump into anything he said. I mean, he doesn't, I don't, whatever he wants me to do, I'll do. I make jokes about the brevity of the roles,
Yeah.
suggesting that others let me star in movies. I am a movie star.
Yeah.
But, you know, Rob kills me in the first 5 minutes and lets others star in the movie. But it's always a joke. Uh, and he said, you're not allowed to complain anymore. He did make that clear.
Yeah.
It's just
Nice.
like, you know, I have an honorary funeral director's degree I got after we
Oh,
made the movie Getting Grace. Yeah. Yeah,
nice.
that's right. I'm a funeral director. And they made a point of mentioning,
Multifaceted.
yeah, they mentioned
That's awesome.
700 or 800 times that I was
Yeah.
not allowed to embalm anybody,
Yeah.
even though I had a degree. They
Nice.
felt compelled to mention it.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so Rob, you know, Rob has mentioned I'm not allowed to complain about the brevity of my role,
Yeah.
but I'd work with a guy anytime. And you know, I'm just so when the Munsters came out, I was really heartbroken
Mm,
for him because there's a thing that's happening now where there is an evil at work.
mm.
And I can't believe it's always real people either. Is it robots? What have they programmed these damn social media things to
Right.
do?
Right.
You watched the Munsters 7 times, and this is a genre you love.
Hmm.
Children watch the Munsters 20 times. Their
Yeah.
parents tell me. Who
Yeah.
are these people who hated the Munsters? Who are these people that every time the Munsters is mentioned, they have to say, I couldn't watch 5 minutes. And then the next guy goes, I couldn't watch 2 minutes. And I think it plays it that somehow it's 50-50, which is exactly what they do with
With
elections,
politics.
don't they?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And do
Yeah.
you really believe it's 50-50? Do you really believe
Yeah.
50% of the people in this world want socialism? I don't. So when it comes to the Munsters, I thought something's going on here because people love this. They
Yeah.
love this movie. So the people who hate it either aren't in on the joke or, I mean, the weird comments like,
Right.
this is nothing like the original show. No, it's everything like the original
It,
show.
it really is the the campy humor, and yeah, it's very lively. Yeah, yeah. Angela here says she's watching it again tonight. Yeah,
Oh, thank
fantastic
you, Angela.
performances all around.
Oh, thank you, Angela. That's gracious. Thank you.
Yeah, we've got a couple of comments that are coming in that I wanted to share. So she also
Oh,
wanted to
thank
say
you,
great
Angela.
story and advice to actors.
Yeah,
And
I've been writing a book, by the way. I know tangential to that. Oh, yes, filmmakers here. Hello, Elisa. I'm writing a book called The Audition is the Job and Other Truths That I've Learned in the Land of Make Believe. And I was so excited to get it out. I was almost done. And then this thing you may or may not have heard of, COVID, hit. And then they don't audition how we used to audition. We used to go. I think some of this is also my age, and they're casting less of me and more of something else now. But and I get offered a lot of movies, so obviously I don't audition for the ones I'm offered. But they don't audition the same way. Casting directors don't want to go back to work. They want to sit at their house and cast us in movies, which is
just do it.
I find.
Zoom.
I've directed 3 movies since COVID hit, and the idea of casting, obviously, like in Tuesday's Flu, we have John Grice and we have Ross Marquand and Jackie Earl Haley, and obviously they were offered roles, but all the other parts, I watched tapes and met actors.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to meet actors. You got to see them.
But yeah, you definitely need to see them in person to get a sense of their personality and what their range is. You don't always get that through the Zoom.
And you believe it or not, there's another thing that I'm always concerned about. I want to know their heart. I really just want to know, because like say these weren't that wasn't that, but when I make my movies that we make through our channel of peace, which is our faith-based movies, I don't have the time, energy, or opportunity to wrestle with an ego. Because you can't afford it. Read the book Wired, and read how John Landis, whether you're a fan of his or not, he's got 500 extras. He's got 700 actors. He's got all these, and Belushi is too stoned to come out of the trailer, and there's no time for that.
Yeah,
I mean it's crazy making.
Yeah,
Anyway, we're talking about a lot of stuff, but you asked me questions. I'm talking too much.
That's good. The kind of going back to your feature films that you've directed. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience, directing Getting Grace? Because that was your first feature that you directed, correct?
Yeah, that was a miracle. My God, I got a great script from Jeff Lewis out of Michigan, and then he and I rewrote the script over many, many years. And the movie we finally made, I always thought we had to wait to make it, because the girl who played Grace had to be in the exact right place to make it. Like, I don't think the movie's as good as it could be if I don't have Madeline Dundon as Grace. And that's kind of the magic that you learn when casting or making movies. There's a time, and so I feel that seems like it took a while to get it going. Comparative to the second movie, which we wrote in July, prepped in August, shot in September and October. Nice. And that was only because we wanted to fill a hole that we were going to make a movie. And then when COVID hit, we couldn't make the bigger movie. So we thought we'll make a smaller movie. And then my daughter, Grace, and I, that was amazing, writing it and directing it with her.
Cool.
We did not really write a smaller movie because it took place in 1972, and we had a very intricate bank robbery, and then we had to move between 72 and 2022, and it was a little crazy making, and not a small movie, but we still got it done. But Getting Grace, I invite people, they could see it on Amazon. You buy it for $4. You could also watch it on Tubi. Or YouTube for free, but then you got commercials. And I would say it's an emotional a funny and emotional movie. So maybe best to pay the $3 and watch it all at once.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And you're also coming out with Lucky Louie as well. That's the most recent.
Lucky Louie, we have in the theaters right now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's in Colorado this weekend, but we just had it in LA this weekend and
Cool.
sold out a couple of the nights, which was amazing. Uh, it's so I make these movies. Step one, be entertaining.
Yeah.
Step two, have a positive effect on the audience.
Yeah.
Step one, be entertaining. We're living in a world now, and I'm going to give you my opinion because I'm your guest,
Yeah.
and I feel like artists really have to start talking about this because it's gotten out of hand. We have a Hollywood system that is working in collusion with a government in some way, and they're creating woke, and I mean woke to the point where something's not entertaining anymore. Because how about this? If you know what you're going to read in the newspaper, are you going to read the newspaper? You're
Mhm.
not.
Yeah.
So we got to make movies where we surprise people. I'm not surprised by anything I see on TV.
Okay.
Or I think we're making movies that no one will remember. We're making TV shows that no one will remember.
Mhm.
No one will remember them like you remember,
The
you
month.
know, I mean, because it's not that.
Right.
It's
Right.
like
Right.
the old thing, I
Sure.
make movies that I want them to be entertaining, and you'd be
Yeah.
surprised that they have a very egalitarian and ecumenical point of view. But man, if you're not entertained, I like Lucky Louie's a mystery movie. So
Cool.
I want you to be figuring out the mystery and enjoying the performances and having aha moments at the end when we explain it all to you.
Yeah.
And is the guy a Christian, and does he teach a Bible study, and does he sometimes say things that a person who teaches a Bible study might say?
Mhm.
Absolutely. Is it overbearing? Never,
Okay.
because I
Yeah.
just won't write like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I don't want anybody. I want you to be entertained by my movie. I want to be entertained by Marvel movies. I want to be
Right.
entertained by Indiana Jones. But
Right.
I'm afraid of what's coming.
Right.
I have a sense that we're going to be lectured a little by a character that should only be concerned with archaeology.
Right. Right. Well, in with that, with IPs, yeah, you also have your character in Star Wars, the video games, right?
Yes, thank God.
That yeah. I forget. His.
Yeah, there he is.
Name.
Grease Stritus. Look
Oh,
how happy
so
he
cool.
is.
Yeah, he looks so fun. But you've also been popping up in when The Walking Dead came on some of
Oh yeah,
those
I did
series.
we did that was the thing. That's my buddy Greg Nicotero. He really is a
Yeah.
buddy, and I do love him. But he never mentioned to his friend Danny that if I did the little Walking Dead webisodes, that I couldn't be on the show.
Oh, damn it.
So I was never on the show. But I was pitching. I'm like, come on, we shave the beard. Dye the hair. I'm the guy's brother.
Yep.
Everybody has a brother. My brother looks just like me. Why can't we
Oh,
do that?
yeah,
He
you would
said
have
no.
been perfect. Yeah, yeah. You could have been Daryl Dixon's cousin.
Sure, I could have come in as that, or I
Yeah.
could have been Ross Marquand's boyfriend.
Oh, there
But
you
no,
go. There you
no, they went with someone else.
go. Curses.
Mm.
Well, they're still turning out shows, so they might bring you back.
Well, we'll see. Are they? We'll see.
Yeah,
Um, I'm the good news is for a 60-year-old guy, I'm busier than I've ever been.
good.
And that's, to my filmmakers out there, I say never stop creating, and that's
Right.
that's why I'm busy. But even as an actor,
Yeah.
uh, I've had a great career. Uh, but there were times if it was a little slow, I did a play, or I started a theater company, or I made documentaries. I mean, I've always had, and then even when it's busy, I can't just I'm on a TV series. We did that minute with Stan Hooper, and simultaneously I was making the Monsteramas for Monsters HD, which was interstitial programming that we were doing. And on the week off, all the other actors did nothing. They relaxed, they got pampered, they swam in their pools, and I was driving around the country with John Skirchuk filming wax museums.
Yeah.
And so always something to do, something entertaining, something enjoyable, something to keep me busy. And then I have two gorgeous, beautiful, lovely children.
Cool.
And,
Oh, great.
you know, being a father to them is a job I relish too.
Yeah. And you're able to
And
work
two,
with
and I'm
both of
sorry,
your
two
daughters.
stepchildren I shouldn't ignore.
Yeah.
Uh, and being a father to them is a job I enjoy.
Nice. Well, and when we met with met up at Rocky Mountain Nightmares, and you were hanging out with Adam, you speak about him with such reverence, it's in such love. It was very touching. Yeah, and I knew you guys had a relationship, but I didn't realize how close it was.
Yeah, and people should understand we're talking about a familial family relationship.
Yeah.
Adam, he came to us. He was discovered by my friend John Gilbert at a very early age, and John's a family man. I'm a family man.
Mhm.
Adam's parents let Adam come hang out with us. Come to Monster Paloozas and these, and we took care of him. And I had kids just a little younger than him, which I,
Mhm.
I think gave mom and dad, also the inclination that he could be trusted,
Yeah.
and or we could be trusted, not he could be trusted, and then his dad passed away at some point, and it was this interesting situation where he had these, you know, people older.
Mhm.
I knew what a I you know it's hard to be a boy in this world. All we hear about is how hard it is to be a girl. It's really
Yeah.
hard to be a boy. There's a lot of pressure,
Mhm.
nobody ever talks about, and you're
Sure.
to be a father. Do you have kids, Dan?
No, I'm fortunate enough to be an uncle.
You're an
Yeah.
uncle. All right.
Spoil
Well,
those.
there's a lot of moral. You teach them logic and morals, and
Right.
you want them to be not. Adam never needed those conversations, but my son and I have we've had multiple conversations about a right
Yeah.
path and a wrong path. So
Right.
anyway, what's incredible is he surpassed all of us, like with his talent. He's the next Rick Baker, and that's a
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
And he's
I
got
agree.
the vision and the talent to do it. Plus, he wants to be a filmmaker, so maybe he's the
Yeah.
next Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Maybe he's going further.
Yeah,
Uh,
his artwork is definitely has that stylization where when you see it, just like you would see, like you said, Tim Burton's, you know his
yeah,
style.
it's Adam, right?
Jim Henson,
Yes,
his
yes,
work.
yes,
Yeah, and Adam is definitely in that arena too. I mean, he's
yes,
in good
yes,
company with that. You see it, it's him. He or his and his studio produced that.
yeah,
So I can't wait for the world to see more of his works, and I can't wait for the world to see your collaboration with him in Jungle of Darkness. I know
yeah.
that's a little ways off, but can you tell us anything about that?
Well, it's he's building these elaborate sets. It's a very silly, funny story about you know a a, a a kid's journey. Professor Sheridan, the guy I play, is unfortunately stuck, and I don't want to say where or how, but he's stuck in life, and things don't look good for him.
Yeah,
So I think he's still working on the script, but whatever it is, it's going to be perfect. And
nice.
we'll have a great collaboration, and I'll do anything the kid wants.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, yeah. when you guys actually start work on it. Hopefully, it'll be at the studio just down the street from us.
Yeah, you're nearby. Well, I think he's finishing another movie.
Right.
I couldn't take any pictures, but there was a lot of amazing stuff in
Cool.
there. But he's finishing that movie over the next few months, and I would guess we'd get to it. He'd start production before the end of the year or early next year, I would think.
Nice. Oh, that's cool. Well, let us know when you're in Colorado next, so we can come
So
and
I can be a live guest. I can actually sit next to you in the amoeba.
yeah, exactly. Oh God, yeah, yeah. That would be exciting. That would be really cool because it is.
I want to tell people, I said to Dan before we went on the air, if you've seen Fantastic Voyage with
Yeah.
Raquel Welch and Donald Pleasance, I said, what are you inside that guy's body? Because Donald Pleasance, when he buys it, it's something like that. That kind of, remember, he's like, ah! It's like some virus killer.
I'm in somebody's kidney. Oh, they
You're
got
in there. Oh, hey, you might be in my. It's like the Rick and Morty where they put the amusement park.
Yep.
What kind of people are they that write that show?
Yeah, I'm sure Disney's not too far off from that. It's like, hey, that's like a good idea. We should invest in that.
Well, yeah, let's look into this.
Oh, geez. Oh man, that's awesome. But yeah, again, I want to just say thanks so much for giving us Grandpa. Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
what a blessing.
I absolutely enjoyed your performance. I fell in love with it, and I hope keep writing Rob. It's like, hey, we need more Munsters. Yeah, they had a TV series. Yeah, it's
Wouldn't
Netflix.
it be great? I know Jeff and I would both love that.
And Jeff was
Would-
wonderful as Herman, and Sherry
Yes.
was a delight as Lily. It was great, fun casting, and the nice thing is, you guys are all friends and work together pretty often.
Yeah, it's really great.
That's so cool. Yeah, Daniel, we're about out of time, but
Okay.
thank you so much for being so generous with your time and coming on and yeah, and go collect your own action figures of Grandpa.
Well, come on. I mean, what kind of person would collect their own action figures? I'm not that type of person.
That is
I would
awesome.
never do it.
Keep the detail on those. I saw those in person at your booth. They
No,
just
dude, they got I don't know how they got my hips down. I know the guy who sculpted it did a perfect job. Um, anyway, listen to all your viewers, your watchers. Thank you for watching our little show, and I look forward to meeting everybody at conventions or wherever. And keep creating, keep creating.
Yes. Good words for everybody out there. Being creative, and that's what this show is about. Is learning more about creators in the horror genre. I love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, Dan, if you could stick around for a few minutes while we sign off. Again, thanks for being so generous and being such an amazing inspiration.
Awesome. You're very kind. Thank you so much. I'll be
Hey,
here.
and to everybody that tuned in tonight, thanks so much, guys. And of course, to our sponsors, to Mutiny Information Cafe. If you're going to start a revolution, make sure you're caffeinated. And of course, Hellfire Entertainment. Thanks for rebroadcasting us on your social media. To Groovy TV. And of course, to Angela Joseph Productions and Alien Donut Films, to Bill and Angela over there, respectively. Thanks so much, guys. And to my producers, Lily Fisher, Amanda Armstrong, and Stefan Santa Cruz. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good night, everybody. Be good, be kind, help each other out during tough times, and stay spooky.